Evening, y'all. How's it going? Welcome to another Lockdown Live chat. This month, we're diving into some old familiar faces who we had on at the beginning of this lockdown chat. 63 weeks later, Alec, which brings me on to the next point. My notorious co-host, the purveyor of all things Dracona Media, Mr. Alec Lyle. How's it going, man?
Oh, everything's good, man. Just, chilling. So it's good to be able to talk some metal, talk metal, I guess.
Yeah, slowly with the possibility of things getting gradually back to normal as what normal could be. Today we're joined with a familiar face to the chat. Today we're joined with bassist of notorious Cape Town black and thrashing maniacs, DEVILSPEAK. Derrick, how's it going, man?
Yeah, going all right, and you?
Yeah, man. It's been a pandemic.
Damn straight.
So yeah, I guess it kind of kicking things off, and this could essentially be the shortest chat in human history in terms of lockdown chats. But the last time we had you on was at the beginning of the pandemic. Pretty much the world went batshit crazy. Now, over a year later, in the approaching summer season here in South Africa, 2021, how things been for you? How things been with the band and the camp? All of that.
It's been unusual for us. The lockdown has not been a good thing for us. Like we have become very stagnant, I guess, because of there being no prospects of doing live shows and stuff, which is that's what we enjoyed doing and kind of why we started doing the band, and everybody's gone through this pandemic and had to deal with a lot of, I guess, things in their own way, and it's affected everybody differently, even, amongst the band, now. So we have not done a lot at all, actually, during this time period. It's kind of a waiting game, and it weighs on us, and it's a hard thing for all of us to deal with. But yeah, for me personally, the only way I can deal with it is to kind of cut it off, to kind of ignore it. I can't be doing the band thing and knowing I can't actually do anything with it in the way I want to do it, So it's been a hard thing for me to deal with. And I mean, last year when we chatted, it's also, we were just going to go on a tour, and I had some other things planned for later on in the year. And all of that got squashed, obviously. So for the first few months, I was kind of depressed about it because of what was not going to happen that I wanted to do. And the only way, like I say, to actually deal with that was to say, okay, well, like, that's not going to happen, so don't live in that space, It's the only way I could pull myself out of it.
Good way to look.
Yeah, it's understandable. Yeah. You guys are very much a live band, and I mean, even down to the way that you guys approached recording your EP as like a very much live unit. What I'm kind of interested in is more about like how you guys approach composition and songwriting. Is it something that's like quite structured in the sense that someone writes a couple of riffs, structures a song, or you guys very much in person, got a jam it out, and that's how you come up with tracks?
It's been a bit of all of that, hey, to be honest. When we started, there were some songs that were obviously already written because the Azalea and DeVet had been together for a long time writing kind of songs and riffs together, So a lot of our old material was already structured that way. Getting Francois in on the drums did end up tweaking bits here and there to kind of make things fit better and flow better for him, or he had some ideas. And then as we had gone on in the years, we started experimenting with, let's try and sit in a room together and come up with things and tweak things there. Everybody has a say, like if they want to, with new material. We're not like precious about it has to be this way, it has to be that way. And some of the best stuff that or parts in songs that we think are good, have come up like in the band room, with sometimes by mistake or sometimes somebody having a brain fart, like in the moment, and just kind of let's just explore that for a bit, So it's been a bit of all of it, and we were also getting to a point of experimenting more with that whole songwriting thing, but we haven't really actually, like I said, we've been very stagnant in the lockdown, so we haven't really explored it more,
Yeah.
Interesting. And I'm curious, just out of because we actually never touched on this on the previous chat. How long was the process at Milestone Studios in actually recording those tracks?
We did it over a couple of days, hey? Over a couple of days, spread over a couple of weeks, basically. Try and be in there as little as possible to save on the budget, basically. I can't remember now exactly like how long it took overall. As it's been a while. I remember the first EP or the first single we did, I think it was 2 or 3 days, like, say like 6 hours a day kind of thing.
Sure.
Like a proper session, and the whole process of that, was it rather smooth when it came to the post-production, dealing with Jethro? Like, no hold-ups?
Yeah, Jethro is great that way, definitely. Always good. And his approach is also like, we'll the first focus is on the drums. Everybody's playing and we're recording everything. So if we get some good takes and other things, we can use them. But the focus is on the drums, and then we will move on to the other instruments, doing them all individually, kind of still to tighten things up. But we still record everything live every time when we do the drums, and that's the fun part. And there are things that are from that stay.
Interesting.
That's cool.
Interesting. There is something I want to actually chat about, because like you say, you guys haven't experimented too much because of, the lack of getting together time and all of that. But the one thing that I do want to address, you've been a band that's been able to play a 45-minute to an hour-long set list for the last, 8-9 years. You've put out 4, I believe, maybe 5 tracks in your career. Now, this doesn't add up to a full hour, 45 minutes. So I guess the question has to be, obviously, you have a lot of tracks that you guys are playing out at live, or we're playing out at live shows constantly without anybody really knowing the tracks as an actual release. So any plans to actually maybe transpose some of these tracks into an actual recording in the future?
Kind of before the lockdown, we were talking about, we were supposed to go in and do a single and stuff like that. But one thing with the lockdown that's really screwed us as well is the curfews, because we did most of our work during the week at night. So we'd get to the jam room maybe by 7, 8, get out of there by 11, 11 at night. And now with the curfews, that makes it very hard for us to do in the way we could do it. That just happened to work best for everybody. So, I mean, we can do weekends, but we can't do weekends consistently. We always got to work around other people's schedules and stuff like that. So the idea was to record some more stuff. But we never got there, and for us to record the stuff, we obviously have to practice it, and we could practice it on our own, but we like to do it together, doing both basically.
100%.
I was actually gonna say, do you guys when you guys had the chance when there wasn't a pandemic, did you guys actually practice on your own that often. I guess maybe ask you directly, like personally, were you practicing bass tabs and stuff like in between concerts and all of that?
Not really, hey, because before the pandemic, I mean, we were practicing twice a week, every week, until the pandemic hit. At least twice a week, sometimes 3 times a week. We were like a band who liked to get in and work together. And like it's like going to gym with our stuff, if you're not working out every day, or not every day with us, but if you're not keeping at it, it's going to become a hard thing to do.
Yeah, 100%. Speaking of like jamming and whatnot, do you have a favorite bass that you like jamming on? Also, like go-to gear, sort of.
I don't know. I have the stuff that I use, and that's my stuff that I like. But how can I say, I don't have the means to go and experiment with a lot of gear. So I bought things on good deals, and have ended up enjoying them. I have had things in between, like my first bass amp I loved was a Galen Krieger, kind of with a preamp, a tube preamp, and they got stolen after one gig. And then for a while, I went through a few bass amps to try and find something, but I didn't like the sound of them. I liked when I was playing at home, but they didn't gel with the band sound, So there I kind of experimented with things a bit, but yeah. So I'm a practical player, I guess. I use what I use, and I like what I use, but I haven't really explored other things to use. If I had the money, I would.
That kind of reminds me, when we spoke to Andy Gillian and I asked him a very similar question. He's like, I have the guitar that I have, and that's the guitar that I play. So yeah, it's cool. Obviously you guys haven't been able to jam for a long while because of pandemic and whatnot, but are there any tracks that like speak to you personally that you love playing live? Like what's maybe 2 of your favorite tracks to jam?
One of them is the single we're going to record. It's called To the Blackest End. It's very short, so that's under 3 minutes. A lot of energy, and I just like some of the bass stuff in it. And probably there's a lot of songs that I like playing live, to be honest with you. To choose just 2, like I wouldn't be playing them if I wasn't enjoying them. But Violently Leading Blind probably is one. That's one that always sounds good and feels good and people kind of react to, and that was our first single, and that's what got Jethro interested. So there's like a lot of history there, I guess, that comes into it for me as well.
Yeah, definitely.
It makes a lot of sense, actually. Yeah, again, you guys have so much material actually when it comes to the live sets. So it's always like a little bit overwhelming. Does the band let you ride on like whenever you guys come up with a track? Do they let you just ride on whatever bass like structure you come up with?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they might have some suggestions, but generally I get to do what I want to do, which is cool.
Okay. Well, I mean, okay, let's actually pull this back, because I mean, obviously, there hasn't been really any performances, and the band hasn't been doing too much. But obviously, there's always a little bit simmering for the future. But what's actually has been happening during this pandemic is a huge influx of local talent, like new acts and new bands that have been coming out. I remember you and I were even speaking about Cosmic Disgracia, Chris Monolith's project. So what's your take on this? The last 19, 20 months or so, all of these new bands and all of these different genres coming out in SA?
Well, to be honest, I'm not on social media, so I'm not always like finger on the pulse anymore. Like I used to get a lot of my news about those things from seeing people at shows, seeing people out and about, seeing people at Kill City Blues, seeing people, wherever. So I don't know about everything that's out, but I think it's a good thing, I mean, even in the pandemic, the scene is obviously still churning away, and I guess, like I said, like earlier I said, like people deal with this pandemic in different ways, and for some people it's become it seems like a creative spark almost, or like it's become something that they can utilize to feed their creativity to bring this out, and that's a great thing. Even like you gave me some CDs, and Alec's black metal band was there, which I had no idea about, which is cool. I think it's great seeing that stuff happening, and myself, like I've thought about, well, I haven't really done anything on my own, and for years before the band, before it was the DEVILSPEAK, I used to play on my own, and I just enjoy playing with people a lot more than I enjoy playing with my own. And maybe being a bit older, I haven't gone exploring that again, It doesn't feel like something I want to do, because I know that that's nowhere near satisfying for me as playing with people is, and playing to people as well,
For sure. Yeah, I can understand that. I guess it's kind of like a flip when it comes to like Alec, who actually probably can't deal working with people in general, so it just suits him producing all the stuff himself.
Yeah. So like I'm a people person. I love that dynamic, even when it becomes abrasive or can become hard. But I'd much prefer that to having full control and doing things myself. I don't think I'm as good on my own as I am with other people, But that's me. That's how I am, I think.
For sure.
Definitely.
For sure. I mean, I guess like carrying on with that whole idea, there's a lot of new bands, and actually I can imagine a couple of them even being able to like open up for a DEVILSPEAK or a Fallen Prophets. There's a lot of new talent that kind of has those little nuances that would fit in with you guys. So I guess we asked this the last time over a year ago. We'll ask it again for the sake of lols. What do you think the future of live shows are in South Africa post-pandemic?
I lost you there, dude. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's all good. Yeah. Same question as last. What do you think the future for live shows are in South Africa post-pandemic? Yeah. Amen. Okay. We'll try that once more. Can you hear me?
There, I can hear you now.
Cool. We'll try this again.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. You try, Alec.
Let's see if you can hear me, Derrick.
Yeah, okay, I can hear you.
What do you think the future is post-pandemic for South African live bands?
What about the pandemic for South African live bands?
Post-pandemic, what do you think the future is?
Oh, geez.
I think we might be having some technical.
Yeah, some technical glitches.
Yeah, my signal's fine. Eh? I'm having a look.
It's South Africa. So yeah, live shows post-pandemic. Derrick, what are your thoughts? What does the future hold?
I don't know, hey. I mean, my thoughts last year are very different to probably this year. I'd like to see them come back, but I don't know what they're going to look like when they come back, There's so much contention around vaccination and non-vaccination, and how that's going to play out and influence how things are going to be. So I don't know, in the beginning, like the live streaming was a cool thing, but very quickly for me that became, I don't know, it just made me miss live shows more than anything else. So I don't know that we'll go back to everything being normal, like pre-pandemic, as soon as we'd like it to. I think we will get there, but I don't think it's going to be like a year or 2 or 3, maybe 5, maybe 10. Who knows, But I think it's going to be a long time, a lot longer than we might like. And none of that's in our control, really. So it is a bit of a concern. But I guess there are like smaller shows happening, and not so much in metal in Cape Town, but I always hear about other smaller shows that I'm going to start checking out. But I do know Joburg's been doing some shows. So, I mean, Alec, do you know how those have been going? Because I've been curious about that.
I've been very antisocial when it comes to massive gatherings.
Yeah.
I've seen
But I mean, are there massive gatherings?
Well, when I say massive gatherings, it's like more than me, Chelsea, and our moms sort of things. We've been like very, very antisocial. But yeah, I've seen photos of people hanging on each other and, screaming into each other's faces. And it just, I don't know, for me at the moment still, it feels a little bit concerning.
Yeah, for sure. As is the possible break-in signal here.
Yeah.
Hear me? Hopefully he will click back on.
There we go.
Let's see.
Yeah.
There we go. Awesome.
I tried to change my Wi-Fi or something just in case.
Cool.
The international viewers are never going to understand the real struggles of living here in South Africa. They just have no idea. They'll never understand.
I've got a 200 meg fiber line now. I don't understand it, Maybe the Wi-Fi is not so good tonight.
Wi-Fi is a pain, man.
So, I guess, let's actually kind of start to wrap this up with a little bit of an interesting fact that I only found out a week ago from you. In fact, when I kept punting how badass and Cape Town native this DEVILSPEAK project was, I was failed to be mentioned the fact that, in fact, you are not originally from Cape Town. You are, in fact, a PE boy, if I'm correct. So, yeah, tell us the whole idea of, like, coming down, like, when you moved to here and, the motivation.
The motivation was just to get out of Port Elizabeth. That was the motivation. I didn't see much of an interesting future for me there. And my sister had been in Cape Town for a year working. And I'd always been kind of wanting to go that way. Originally I wanted to go to Joburg just to make some money, but my now wife was dead against going to Joburg. And people in P, like I'd meet people from outside of Port Elizabeth, and whenever they'd meet me, they'd say, "Oh, you seem like somebody from Cape Town or from P." So all of that kind of fed into it, and I've never been sad I made the move. But I'm not the only one in DEVILSPEAK. DeVet's originally from Namibia, and Jared, the vocalist, is originally from George. The only Cape Townians is Azalea and Francois.
It's actually crazy. But you guys are all Cape Townians at heart. Not to disparage the other provinces here, especially that.
I love this. I love Cape Town. It's a great move for me,
Yeah, man. Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess, as we kind of start to tail end this chat, there's a little bit of a catch up and all. The future of DEVILSPEAK. Obviously, we wait and see how this pandemic pans out in terms of curfew and stuff. But the idea being try get back into the studio as soon as the government allows us, I guess.
Yeah, it's still hazy for us, I honestly don't know. I honestly don't know right now. I can't predict it, Like I say, we've been stagnant. And I don't know if that's going to end with us actually doing something or with us saying like we've done enough, you know, and that's that, to be straight. So we'll see where it goes, you know. It's the only thing I can do.
It's real talk. I mean, this is the thing. Like I was telling Alec, we've had 2 months worth of new, hungry like bands and stuff who have never even performed on a stage yet. It's still full of piss and vinegar and, you know, hopes and ambitions and all of that. Whereas a lot more of the OGs, you know, the guys like yourselves that have been doing this for many years, you require that live energy as a motivator. So, I mean, I guess all we can hope is for the live shows to start coming back, you know?
Yeah, totally. I mean, we were building up momentum, and the idea was to start, you know, kind of going around the country more often and doing things like that, and get out of it, just doing the Cape Town thing. And there were a lot of things that we wanted to do that the way things are now, like, it's just boom, you know, like what we can go and be a recording band now, and to be straight, like, recording is not our favorite thing to do. So it doesn't fill us with lots of like you know, Vuma to go and do it. And if that's the only thing we can do, like, you know, and yeah, we have to record and stuff like that. But I guess, yeah, like everybody's different, every band's different. You know, that's just the way we were or have been. And the way we came together and why we wanted to do things and what we enjoyed doing, you know. And it was good, you know, it was good to have that momentum. It was good to have like gigs in the scene and all that stuff. Like, I do miss that. I miss that a lot, actually. You know, even just going to watch other bands would be fucking amazing right now. I got a friend who's in the UK and Italy, and he sent me some clips of like, he went to a show there where there was crowds, bands, lights, sound. It was like tribute bands doing Slayer, Megadeth, Pantera, and who was the last one? I can't remember now. But anyway, like they're all good bands. They send me clips, and I get like so hungry to go do something like that, you know.
Hopefully soon enough it'll be back. I think we can all do with some live shows and a little bit more normality.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's definitely going that way overseas. So I just don't understand why it's not come. You know, why are we still not allowed nightclubs? Like, you know, in some sense over here.
Things take a little slower here in Africa. That's the only answer.
And curfew, you know, the curfew like really screws things. I mean, I was saying to a friend of mine on Sunday, you know, like, because he's not in the metal scene, but he's in the music scene. And he said it's weird, you know, like you go out to a show, you got to be done by like 9 to get home by 10. And it's like I would go out at 8, like that's when I can leave home because I things with my family before then, and it just doesn't work with like the way things are now. You know, I've got to change my whole life, but changing my life that way is changing my family's life that way, and that's not fair on them, really.
Definitely. Yeah. Well, yeah, I guess there's not really much else to say. I mean, I was gonna ask for some moral words of advice for all the upcoming bands that might feel a little bit disheartened. So, do you have anything?
No, the upcoming bands are probably not disheartened. I mean, it's probably people like us, or bands that have a similar approach to us that are feeling disheartened. And I don't have a lot of like comforting words for that, you know. Like you gotta stick it out and see where it goes. I think the upcoming bands is a good thing, though. It's good to hear that, you know, especially if they have no experience. I think that's a great place to be in at the moment. With this, you know, like ignorance is bliss. You don't know what you're missing until you've experienced it, you know.
That's a problem. This is exactly why we're in this situation. You've grabbed that brass ring. You've tasted the sweet nectar of a hungry crowd, and then it's like, nah.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
none of that. So
Yeah, and it's been a long time,
we can only hope the world unfucks itself soon enough, Derrick. But yeah, man, again, thanks for taking a little bit of time out to chat with us. You know, it's good to have a little bit of this real talk. I don't want our viewers to think that every single band is like riding this tsunami of a pandemic, swords blazing. It's sometimes things get real, and this is a proof. So we can only hope that things get a little bit back to normal, because we want to hear some new DEVILSPEAK, and we want to see you guys ripping it up on the stage again. So yeah, man, keep the chin up, keep on rocking, listen to a couple of the new bands, and yeah, man, we'll have you back. Well, hopefully we don't have you back. Hopefully in 1 year from now, we'll be back onto the stage. But
yeah,
we'll hopefully have you back soon for a little bit of a catch up once again.
yeah, cool. Thanks for the chat. So it was good to see both of you as well.
Yeah, it's good to see you as well, man. It's been a while.
I know a lot of people would want to see your face again also. So this just shows a bit of light. It's like, yes, the bassist who ain't on social media, here he is. It's like, hey. So, yeah, Derrick, thanks again for joining us, man.
Yeah, thanks, dude.
Cool, dude. Cool.
Yeah. So, yeah, Alec, what do you say? Are we done for another week?
Yeah, definitely. No, it was good.
Oh, awesome.
How have you guys been though through the whole thing,
Oh man, we just keep on going, man. We're the little steam engines that could. We're just going week in and week out as the world keeps dipping and raising like cryptocurrency. We just do these chats. We don't stop. Alec has moved like 3 times, I believe, in the duration of our chat. So yeah,
really, you did pass 3 times, I think.
Yeah, now
is it 3 times or twice?
Well, it's sort of 3 times, but yeah, now I'm in my place now. So Chelsea and I bought a place, and so now we're here for good.
Oh, good.
So
so
that blurry aesthetic behind Alec is a regular thing now.
But you and Chelsea been fine through things,
Yeah, no, we're good. Got married last year. So
cool, congrats.
Oh, thanks, man. Yeah.
What a crazy time. Guys, what a crazy time. We're just knocking off all these random milestone moments, and it's like, got married, moved house. It's all
How
good.
did you do that? Did you just do like your own little thing, or did you have like a little ceremony with people and family or whatever?
We had our moms, and that's it.
Okay, cool.
That's all we had, basically.
Yeah.
It's basically what we wanted to do, barring family. Family overseas would have been nice, like Chelsea's siblings and my siblings.
Yeah.
But
well, that's cool. My sister did the same thing. It was just like my folks and her husband's folks, and that was it.
Hey, it works. Speaking as a Jew, it cuts down on the overheads for the wedding. So like I'm saying mazel tov and stuff to your sister and you and Chelsea, Alec. Like that was a good move, and you got the photos, so it happened. So there we go. Anyway,
but seriously, like I don't understand why South Africa, like we can't do some gigs and stuff. Like it definitely is opening up slowly overseas, and has been for a couple of months.
Yeah.
I don't understand that part of it. It's not like the world has to wake up, like we have to fucking wake up. Love to be able to go there, but that does make me jealous. Like some of my friends I have that are overseas in bands, like they are doing shows and have been for like 6 months. Like, fuck, why can't we?
Yeah. Hopefully all in due course. Yeah. Anyway, on that positive note, we're gonna end it at that. We're gonna end it at that. Thank you again, Derrick, for taking some time out and joining us.
Yeah,
and
awesome.
Alec, thanks again for pulling this off. Thanks again to everybody that watched. We'll be back again, same time, same place on the interweb, bringing back some of the OGs. So yeah, hope you guys join. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Keep that social distancing going, and hopefully this pandemic hoo-ha will be over soon enough. Awesome, guys. Have a wicked week ahead. Laters.
Cheers, dudes.